Well, hello and thank you for joining me for another Alex on Tech and TechAdvice.life video interview. Today I'm joined by Marc Washbourne. He's the CEO and co-founder of ASX-listed tech company ReadyTech. Welcome to the program.
Alex, awesome to be here. Really excited to talk to you.
Marc, thank you for taking the time. Now, just for those who are unaware, can you please give us a quick recap of ReadyTech?
Yeah, thank you so much, Alex. ReadyTech is a enterprise software as a service company. We build mission critical technology for our customers. We have over 4,000 customers. So we serve clients across a number of verticals, and they include education, local government, justice, workforce. Our mission is to help these communities thrive. In education, our clients are in TAFEs and universities. Our local government customers include Auckland Council, City of Salisbury and Adelaide. In justice, our largest client is His Majesty's Courts and Tribunals in the UK. So we're also a global business. All of this is really best described as vertical software as a service, where we seek to meticulously craft the platform to meet the unique needs of a sector. So that helps us to achieve, I think, high customer intimacy with domain experts in our sectors. So that's really what ReadyTech's all about.
Yeah, I remember first hearing the term software as a service in the year 2000, when before that was called client server. And here we are in 2023, nearly 2024, nearly a quarter of a century later, and it's so advanced and mature and sophisticated. And I noticed that one of the things you talk about is a people-centric approach, and I hear about companies talking about cloud ready, people ready, AI ready. What does people-centric approach mean to you as we are here in 2023?
So it's a great question. All our platforms are really there to help to support people, be it in education and areas of justice and local government. It's all about serving citizens. So yeah, we take a people-centric approach to that. What does that mean? I think it's really about prioritizing people. It's about putting people at the heart of our systems. Part of that is in the design of the systems is about how can we personalize the experience to really closely meet the needs of individuals. It's about investing in design and UX. It's about systems that I think are really intuitive and really thinking about human behavior. So I think in our systems, for students, it's about a great student experience, a personalized experience. I think that's really what it is to be people-centric.
Yeah. Well, all the technology we have in the world is for people. It's not for robots, not yet anyway. Now, speaking about, yeah, that's right. Well, on that topic, I mean, the big topic of the year, of course, has been ChatGPT and AI. I mean, it first came to prominence in November 2022, which is just over a year as we're recording this. And of course, AI has been around for decades, and science fiction authors thought about it and, wrote about it and dreamed about it. And we've seen all sorts of robots in movies and things, but really we've seen incredible growth in the past year. So how does ReadyTech use AI in its products and services?
Yeah, look, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's been over a year ago. I remember using ChatGPT about 3 days after it was launched. I was probably a late adopter, but we've been pretty obsessed with it since. And look, we've always been a company that has looked to invest a lot back into our products. We've been using AI and machine learning for some time. We've used mostly the technology for predictive purposes. For example, we've been able to predict what students are more likely to drop out using data and data models, and that helps education providers to provide really targeted student support at scale. But yeah, the last 12 months, we've spent a lot of time and a lot of energy on this breakthrough of generative AI, which we really think can further our mission to help these communities thrive. I think we start from a really great spot. We have very large volumes of rich data. We also understand our domains very well, so we understand the context. And look, where we started was looking at some small implementations. That's evolved into some co-pilots, which we can talk more about. There's a lot of unstructured data in our systems, particularly in documents that have been uploaded. So we find that generative AI is very good at sorting and summarizing this data. Of course, we can start asking the models questions. So the focus has been on co-pilots in our products, helping users be more efficient, help them make decisions better and more quickly. It's really all about achieving better outcomes for our customers. So we think Gen AI has massive potential for that.
And did you want to go into any more detail about the co-pilots?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me give you an example of a co-pilot. So
Sure.
a product that we have is one of our very early products, and it's still an important product for us, is helping job coaches who are supporting people to get back into the workforce. So they're working with people who are out of work or have employment barriers. And what we've done is to connect this platform to a generative AI model. The co-pilot's called Eddie. We're of course ReadyTech, so it seems to work. And look, we take the data that includes the job seeker's resume into a model. And firstly, we ask to the model to give us a summary. Now, job coaches are often working with 100, 120 job seekers. So, straight away, it's like, wow, very efficient. What comes back? It's just saved me 15 minutes of reading about this job seeker. And next we start asking it questions. What jobs could this job seeker apply for? What career could they transition to with these skills? Which of the skills are most transferable? It's just massive value in that. And it might sound simple, but I think, really the big thing for us is that, it's doing things that a human actually finds very hard, is really understanding all of the atoms that make up every job. It's an extraordinary amount of data that you need to make sense of that. So we think about that at scale and the bigger opportunity. You think about emerging industries like green energy, clean energy. What are those jobs? What skills can be transferred? What are the skills gaps? It's super exciting. That's just one example of a co-pilot. We built that in about 6 weeks. The vision is to unlock more of that type of value for our customers.
Yeah, I mean, AI is often spoken about in terms of automating sort of repetitive and boring tasks, but some of those higher level things where you need some analysis and some reasoning skills and some ability for the AI to pick and choose the best candidates from that list of 120 can save a lot of time and really help you find the needle in the haystack.
Absolutely. And I think that, what generative AI is doing very well is that, in these very complex sets of data, what we call unstructured, in this case, a resume, how one job is described or a skill is described might be quite different from one individual to another. And these large language models are very good at, it's not just about exact matches, it's about recognizing patterns, in this very complex human dynamic of jobs and skills. So it's a massive breakthrough. It's something that, we've actually probably been trying to do effectively for 20 odd years. And in what we've done in 6 weeks has been quite remarkable. So yeah, big breakthrough and so much potential across our other product stacks.
Yeah. Now, as we were saying, the AI revolution, as we know it from the past year, is only a year old, despite the fact that AI and machine learning and all of those neural engines inside of smartphones have been with us for years, if not decades. But are you already finding there are certain skills that AI can't replicate or can't replicate yet?
Yeah, it's a great question. We think a lot about that at ReadyTech. So, I think that what we're really trying to create with co-pilots is to make people more efficient and give them options, but leave really important decisions in the hands of humans. The job coach, of course, has to work with the job seeker as well. And firstly, let's say that the job doesn't really make sense, or doesn't quite fit right. That might need some filtering. It might need some explaining or some back and forth. I think, the ability of the human, innately human, is to have intuition and empathy and be nurturing. And I think all these really sort of emotional skills, is that machines don't have, right? So I think that's why the concept of a co-pilot makes so much sense as opposed to, the autopilot.
Yeah.
We're sort of augmenting humans. We work in these very human industries, like education or helping with job seekers. I think that, the leaving those really big decisions and the communication of those to humans is right for now. And I think we'll just, in the next 5-10 years, just understand more and more what it is to be innately human and uniquely human. I think if I was to go to a doctor, I'd be really happy to be diagnosed by a machine, but I would probably prefer the doctor to verify that and let me know that diagnosis and talk to me about that, right? I think that's sort of an example that we consider across all of our products.
And there's been a lot of talk at the moment and over the past year about responsible AI, the concept of AI not being a black box, explainable AI, getting the AI to explain its decisions, and also contestable AI, where you can say, well, hey, I don't agree with that diagnosis, Mr. Robot, AI doctor. I'd like to get a second opinion. You must be seeing a lot of concern about that, but also you must be coming up with these challenges to make sure that the AI you're using is responsible and doing the right thing.
Absolutely. So I think first of all, I think we hear it a lot, right? Are the outputs accurate? I think what we're learning, is in these very deep models, in deep learning, and in these deep layers, we don't really understand how the models are working. What is really being emphasized if you're using words like disability or remote, or words around ethnicity. We don't really understand where the bias might be, and so I think that's what organizations are grappling with, is sort of calibrating how far do we allow the decisions to be made by the machines, and where does the human intervene and have oversight. I think that for many organizations, that something that we have done is we've built an AI ethics team. We have an AI policy that's guiding us to ensure that we're getting the right outcomes, and not ones which have more bias or are suboptimal. So it's something that no doubt we'll grapple with for a few years ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, the world has got chat GPTs. We were discussing that Microsoft are using them with the Bing and the Copilot. There's Google's Bard, and now it's new Gemini. Facebook has Llama. There's the open source Mistral in France. There's Claude AI from Anthropic. So which AI foundation are you using, or are you building your own and trying to create it all from scratch, like a number of other companies are also doing as this great AI race continues unfolding?
Yeah, it's a fascinating question and area, isn't it? We've chosen to use ChatGPT, OpenAI, and the reason for that, I think, was around scalability and security. We are able to run this model in a private cloud, obviously dealing with a lot of private and sensitive data. And I think it's just going to be so interesting. I think we believe, that most models are, trained on the same data on the internet. So there's a lot of overlap, and over time, these models are likely to converge and be somewhat homogenized. So, I think that the decisions over time, similarly as we've gone through, are going to be ones of cost. It can be expensive to run these large models. So you might not always need a very large model for maybe more simple implementations. I think over time, the unique differentiators are going to be which models are the easiest to fine tune or to train with your own data. That's where the next absolute stage of magic and value comes. But it's, as you said, Alex, it's moving so fast. Google's just released Gemini the last few days.
Yeah.
This is a multimodal model, which can manage text, audio, image, video,
And code.
and code. Absolutely. I mean, it's an arms race, right? And the big
Yeah.
tech is an arms race. That should be good for us, who are looking to deploy and adopt these models. So, look, I think for all those reasons, I think you've got to stay flexible, and we've chosen sort of long-term agnostic when it comes to models.
And what is the short version? I mean, every customer is different, but what's the sort of onboarding process in a nutshell for a new customer wanting to come to ReadyTech? And how long does it take for the AI system, for OpenAI, ChatGPT, to ingest the information that the customer then wants to have the system through you trained on?
So I think in terms of implementation, as I said right at the top, these are vertical software as a service systems. So, we really look to provide these systems out of the box and make that adoption process as fast and as quick as possible. We allow our systems to be configured and not customized. So, we are always looking for ways to accelerate the ability for customers to adopt our technology. In terms of the first releases that we have around copilots, another example is Alex. We have a program, a system that manages contracts and procurement, and the ability to take a contract, a very complex document, into a model, and again ask it questions like, what are our responsibilities in this contract, or summarize the termination clauses. It's just another example of how we can relatively quickly add value to our customers. So, in order to get the answer back, the co-pilot is sitting there on the side of the screen, ready to help at any time. And just like when you prompt ChatGPT, it takes a couple of moments. That's how quickly the responses are coming back from the co-pilot. So, yeah, I think I probably have never seen the ability to add value quite so quickly to customers as what we've seen with the ability to connect with large language models.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds extremely positive, and it's great that you're getting these results, which are obviously making a measurable difference and improvement to your customers. And clearly, I would imagine that any signs of any future Skynets and Terminators is still just a twinkle in a sci-fi writer's mind's eye.
I think the dangers are quite low today versus the upside. We talked about some of the risks and dangers around bias and hallucinating and inaccurate results, and I'm sure that many organizations are thinking about things like robo debt and things that can go wrong. So look, I think that on balance, I'm a tech optimist. I think that that humans will work out how to apply the technology for good. I think probably a personal view is that you sort of wonder if AI will make us sort of less intelligent and less creative. Google Maps has really completely simplified navigation, right? So most people are lost without it now. The internet makes searching information retrieval so easy. My kids always say, just search it up, Dad. So I sort of wonder if generative AI will also, will society lose the ability or the desire to generate novel content, which is what generative AI is so good at. So I think that potentially, I wonder if it will make us less intelligent or maybe more stupid in the future, but just a personal view.
Yeah, well, we did have that movie Idiocracy, but there was no sign of generative AI in that movie, so hopefully not. I mean, look, there's always this trend, and this has existed long before AI as we know it, of handmade, crafted by hand, human designed, in the age of everything mass produced. So I'm sure they'll always be. I mean, we have the Amish, for goodness sakes, still running around with electricity and horses and carts. So although I did read that they had started using e-scooters, because it's just too good of a technology to let go. You don't have to get the horse out and feed it and cool it down and all the rest. So even the Amish make some exceptions for advanced technology, and I'm sure all technology in the past has only helped humanity become better, and I'm pretty sure AI is going to be the same. So let's fingers crossed on that one. Now, before I ask you some closing questions, is there anything else about ReadyTech that you need to tell us that we haven't already discussed?
Maybe an interesting topic to share with you, is that we do have a view on the future of enterprise technology and ERPs. I think a lot of our large customers are dealing with very complex technology ecosystems. And what they're looking for is flexibility, and they want data to be able to flow freely across their systems. Mm-hmm. And I think that the older ERP systems have been restrictive around that. What you might think of as the platform monolith. These large systems which are difficult to change and difficult to move data freely and move data around. So look, I think as a philosophy, we believe the future is open and connected. I think that ERPs shouldn't try to do everything. You're really helping customers to understand that they can use best of breed. They might want to use the big horizontal systems, Microsoft or Salesforce. So I think supporting customers to bring all that together, also give them ability to move systems in and out and be flexible. I think that's the right customer-centric approach for the future of enterprise technology. So that's something that we think will help unleash more innovation in the future. And it's a philosophy that guides us across all our different platforms and sectors.
So one of my closing questions is to ask if you could please share a memory of your first computer. I'm always fascinated what people's first computers were.
Okay, so this is an awesome question. I grew up in the UK, so there was a computer which was called an Amstrad.
Yeah.
I don't think they were here. I'm not sure they were here in Australia. Did you have Amstrad?
We did have all the British computer magazines. It was more of a UK computer, Alan M. Sugar, Lord Sugar, with his famous computer. They were more popular in the UK, but they were around, yes.
Yeah, but compare it to a Commodore 64 or a ZX Spectrum, right? And I predominantly had it for gaming, and of course, in those days, you would put in the cassette tape.
Yeah.
And play the tape, and it would make those squeaking sounds, and you'd wait for it to load. But like I started coding as well. I learned some very basic coding. That's where I got started in about 1985, 1986. I loved the application of logic and the problem solving, and still do. I built a little game which was was like a caterpillar that was eating flowers. I thought it was pretty cool. I think about three people ever played it. It was my brother and one of my friends.
Yeah.
But that's my first memory.
And so my second last question is to ask if you could please share some of the best advice that you've received in life to help you get where you are today.
I think that the best advice I ever had is quite simple, which is that what got you here won't get you there.
Mm.
I think that the advice is really about staying really open to learning. I believe in lifelong learning and staying curious. I really believe it's okay to say I don't know. And I think that goes to running a tech company, which is to be really relentlessly innovating, never be complacent. And AI is all about that, right? If we don't evolve into this new world, you could be disrupted, or you could get wiped out. So I think that's it for me. Is what got you here won't get you there.
So what is your final message to the viewers and the readers and to your current and future customers and partners?
I think I'd go back to a message around AI, if I may, Alex, which is
Please.
to say that, just I think be really open to take advantage of these incredible opportunities. I think the risks can be managed. We have at ReadyTech to share our story. We've invested really heavily in upskilling and not just technical people, across the whole organization. We had AI week where we just gave people the space to understand what was possible and to play with the technology. So, I think that to adopt the technology has to be organization wide support and understanding from the executive and build a culture around understanding AI and this type of innovation. So that would be my message to the world and the customers.
Well, Marc Washbourne, CEO and co-founder of ASX-listed ReadyTech, thank you so much for taking the time. I really enjoyed our chat, and I do wish you the best of success, and I do hope we can speak again in the future.
Love to, Alex. Thanks for the awesome questions.
Thank you very
Enjoy.
much. Bye-bye.